do it again. But the domestic investors will do it again. They will do it again. I'm purely sure it will happen, but not in the smaller cities. The smaller cities, the crash is much more feelable by the people. There, the reactions of former trading. I'm a developer now, 26 years now, and in Austria, where I'm come from, properties name Immobilie, to be immobile, and immobile is not trading, and it was trading. Immobile means expect to hold it 10, 15, 20 years. The best projects, the green buildings of the history has been built 100, 150 years ago, and they are now green buildings. Immobile means to be not mobile. And not mobile means expectations of 8, 9, 10% is not realistic. Mm-hmm. That's the situation. You have expectations of investors which are not suitable with immobiles. And therefore, that's the reason why I have my problems. I have to work on the quality, to reduce quality, to reduce costs now for short-time projects, to get the yields what are expected to get projects. And in 3 years or in 3.5 years, the first contracts will be run out. You will invest again in these projects to increase quality, because the next projects will rise up qualities. So it's so short. Few investments now will start. It's really ridiculous, but only to invest in the first projects. I think that's the biggest problem which is expected in a market now, in this market now. And I hope we did 2 projects in Sibiu and Timișoara, which were stopped before the crisis and on hold. I said every project is on hold. It's not stopped, it's on hold. And now it starts again because the price expectations of the investors at that time reaches now the level which the owner also tries to get now, from up to down now. And so they have a new chance. So I think that the problem is now to invest in short times. Now it's only short time, and that's not an investment for a property. Mm-hmm. It's not an investment for an investment time schedule for a property. That's really difficult.
Christopher.
I'd be very interested to hear the views of the panel on which sectors in the Romanian property market are likely to be the bright spots in the short to medium term. Some that are often talked about, well, one from personal experience, we represent some of the major hotel operators who are these days very aggressively signing up owners, primarily for 3 to 4 star hotels in secondary cities, not so much in Bucharest, although there's some of that, but I understand from our discussion before you have some concerns, Martin, about the owner's ability to get financing for these projects. Another sector is residential, which I'm constantly told by people who know the numbers that the fundamentals are there for a huge surge in residential demand, but it hasn't happened yet. Romanians tend to own their own homes, but they tend to be fairly small, old-style apartments. The amount of new stock that's been developed and delivered over the last few years has been quite small compared to the demand, and tends to be skewed, or has been skewed toward the high end, which is beyond the reach of many people. You would think that there would be more demand for middle-class housing, and yet the supply isn't there, or it isn't being taken up on the market. Maybe it's a lack of liquidity. People can't get mortgages. Maybe they can't sell their existing apartments. But be interested in particularly our developer and our consultant Elias's view on that. And another would be retail, because retail has gotten a lot of bad press recently in Romania. I mean, so a lot of bad projects were delivered. There's the story that's been reported often in the press about the city of Suceava, which is a not very big provincial city in one of the poorer areas of the country that supposedly now has 1 square meter of retail mall space for every man, woman, and child in the city. And you wonder where the income is to support that. But on the other hand, I'm also told that there's still per capita, the amount of square meters of retail space, modern retail space in Romania is quite low compared to other countries. So I'd be very interested to hear. Maybe, Martin, you could start with the hotels.
I can start with the hotel sector. I definitely see big potential for new hotel projects all over Romania. Maybe I'm not talking about Bucharest, where we had a significant increase in number of hotel rooms in the past years, especially in the upscale segment. But I definitely see big potential for mid-scale projects in, let's say, the 20 biggest Romanian cities like Timișoara, Arad, Cluj, and so on, where these attractive, modern, mid-scale hotels are definitely missing. The biggest challenge we face when we are developing new projects or when we advise our customers, that hotel operators are currently offer only management contracts for Romania. They are usually more or less risk-free. You are paying the manager a certain amount of the turnover of your overall profit. But banks are only financing new hotel projects if hotel operators are offering a lease contract with a 3 or 6 months lease guarantee. But especially the English or American hotel operators are not offering lease contracts. So it's a big gap, and I'm afraid that this situation will not change within the next 1 or 2 years, so that we will not face major new hotel projects in Romania in this time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, does that differ in Romania to other areas of Eastern Europe that you cover?
It's more or less no difference between Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, Serbia. It's the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there is one of the better markets, it might be Budapest or Prague.
Mm-hmm.
But in the southeastern European region, it's more or less the same.
Yeah. What kind of operators are you talking to at the moment? Who does actually have an interest in?
All the operators. When we are trying to select an operator for a new project in Bucharest, we receive 5 letters of intent within 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
All the German operators, French operators, UK operators, American operators, they're interested in new properties in Bucharest, in Timișoara, Arad, Sibiu, and so on, especially with their mid-scale brands, not with the upscale brands, but with their mid-scale brands they have in their portfolio.
Okay. Ilias, do you want to sort of make some comments about that and the residential market as well?
Before that, I would like to have 2 comments. One has to do with the banks, that they are not financing, and this is a problem. Up to a point, it is a problem, but in my opinion, the banks should not finance a lot. One of the biggest reasons for the problems that Romania has, and also the world has, was that Ilias Papagioiadis, coming from a city of Greece, with 200,000 euro, could go to Romania, buy a property with 70–80% leverage. Who is he? He has 200,000 euros, okay? And then he will start a project, and this project will be over-evaluated by all the world, and he will do the project with 100% leverage. And then Christopherson, my friend there, is laughing. He knows the story. So Ilias Papagioiadis will end up either calling himself a developer, or he will lose his money, he will disappear, causing trouble, higher prices, and 1 million other problems. So, Ilias Papagioiadis should not be allowed to develop a hotel just because he has some money. The banks, of course, have to start lending, but not to everyone for everything. That's one of the biggest reasons of the problem. Secondly, regarding when we talk about the future and what is the first one, which part of the market can recover, I would like to tell you my, let's say, approach for the next period of Romania in general. Now in Romania we have elections, presidential elections, 22nd of November and 6th of December. Elections in the Balkans, for you who are coming from Western Europe, means something quite aggressive, quite ugly, and quite rough. I come from Greece. We had elections on Sunday. I know what I'm talking about. So until the end of the year, people will be busy with elections, letting the country and the economy going down. The budget deficit will reach historical heights, and everything will have a very big problem. It will impact everything around the market. My expectation is that in the beginning of 2010, the new government, because there will be a new government eventually, I don't know for who, it's not my business, will come up and will stand towards the crowd and will say, look, we have very big problems, and if we want to move on, we need to have very strict measures due to the IMF restrictions, due to several reasons. So, when these restrictions and when these measures will start after a period of time, after some months, these will help the economy to reach bottom and to stop, because until now it's falling. And then at the end of the year in 2011, we will see the country reaching, let's say, a balance and slowly recovering, but nothing extraordinary. In the next 12 months, I'm not expecting any bubble, anything aggressive to happen again. Coming back now to the question of Christopher. First of all, even with the crisis today, there are not too many good properties for sale. You know, we hear now that the whole world is for sale, whole Romania is for sale, whole Bucharest is for sale. But when you go to talk about good properties, either they are not for sale or the prices that are asked are not prices that someone has any reason to invest in. So when we find a good opportunity, trust me, we will not find plenty. Also, I don't expect the bubble to happen again quite soon, because the bankers in Romania will not allow that. Lots of investors are already burned, so there will be several years to pass until they will decide to take very high risks again. Regarding residential market, it's a very big problem. As I said before, there is too much bad product in the market, but in the same time, if today you are really interested in developing residential, you can find excellent plots in prices 60, 70, 80% lower than last year. And if you target middle class, you can buy with a very low cost of the land per total price of investment. You know the ratios, the ones who are involved. And you can sell apartments with quite low prices, and you will find clients for this. But from 50 to 80 square meters. Don't start again building like you are, I don't know where. And Romanian state is supporting this procedure with a program which is called Prima Casa, the first house. This is giving a guarantee of 60,000 euro by the state for the people, and they can come up with the rest of the difference so as to be able to obtain an apartment or a house or a new unit. This is not something that goes for everyone, and everyone who doesn't have money can go buy an apartment, but it helps the serious people to buy an apartment in an easier way. So if we talk about residential, there are two different things. The old stock will suffer. New, serious, small investments, nothing large scale. I know my business is usual to say, if you go for something large scale, it's good for us, the consultants, the brokers, but it doesn't go. Only small projects, feasible, easy to control, and easy for you, if there is any problem, to solve it immediately.
Thank you. Jochen, I mean, are you interested in getting involved in the development of middle-class housing?
No. Easy. No. It's